Hello, everyone, and welcome to the preseason press conference for the preseason friendly between the London Lions and Zalgiris. Today, we are joined by CEO Lenz Balan and the general manager Martynas Purlys. Before we open it up to the press, we're going to start by opening statements from both of them. Lenz, you're up.
Sure. We're just incredibly excited about this season. Last year was a rebuild year for us. I think it was a very exciting season. Disappointed in the end, but this season, I think we're so excited to be back in EuroCup. It's so important for, I think, British basketball and for the Lions. We're excited about the players, the staff, the team that Martynas has put together, and hopefully bringing back the fan base. I think one of the best things about being in London is it's such a global and diverse place, and it really gives the London Lions playing in Europe really gives us an opportunity to celebrate the global nature of the sport, the global nature of London, and we look forward to hosting the teams at the EuroCup. We also look forward to, I think, a very exciting regular season. Every team in the SLB has really stepped it up. And we're also looking forward to sort of the continued improvements on our community efforts, our pathway efforts, and, of course, the women's program as well. I think people will be pleasantly surprised by the steps that we're making to sort of rebuild that club as well. So really excited for the season. Hope everybody comes along and joins us. Excited about the new partners we have on board, Adidas and a number of others that we will be announcing. So it's just a really exciting season, and I think it'll be special for London and special for British basketball.
Yep. Hello, everybody. I can repeat also that we are back to Europe. We are back to EuroCup. We are very excited about that. So this season we're gonna participate in 4 tournaments, trophy, SLB Cup and SLB, and the EuroCup again. So we have our goals to win the cup, win the SLB championship and the playoffs, and also the primary goal to play in playoffs of EuroCup. So we have ambition team. We create ambition team with the new head coach, Tautvydas Sabonis coach, who has experience in Zalgiris as assistant coach. Big name in Lithuania, big name in all over the world because of his father, brother, and so on. But I would say that the name is not working personality. So far, I would say that we are very happy with him, and he has good connections with the players. And the spirit in the team so far is really good. We have a preseason couple games in Lithuania against EuroCup team, against Champions League qualification team. We won. The main target was not to win the game, but just to check the players, check, on the court, the roster, the players, what we created. And I would say, that until the Zalgiris game, everything looks fine. But the biggest test is tonight, to play against EuroLeague team, to play against team with the support of a lot of Lithuanian fans. I would say that tonight we're going to feel like not a home team, but away game. But anyway, big game for the Lithuanian community, big game for the British basketball to play against the EuroLeague team here in London.
Thank you guys very much. It seems like, there's a lot to look forward to for this year and a lot of expectations, from not only the team, but for everyone in the staff included. Now we're going to open it up to the press. Please state your name, organization you're with, and wait for the mic to come around.
Oh yeah, no, great. Eurostep Brit podcast. Lenz, just start quickly with you. After obviously previous events and Lions not being in EuroCup last year, how does it feel to you personally that the Lions are playing back in Europe again this year?
Yeah, I think in terms of how it feels to me personally to be back in Europe, I think it's hard to describe. This has been, the last couple of years have been really emotional, I think, for the franchise and for a lot of people there. I think the first bit is, I think we feel very fortunate to have an incredible ownership group behind us. And I think that has sort of entrusted us in building and growing the London Lions and bringing British basketball. And I think we had a very, very clear objective, which is to re-enter European competition. and represent UK at the highest stage and get to the top of European basketball. That is still our ambition, is to make London Lions a global powerhouse for basketball. There's a lot of work to do there. We need a lot of help from our fellow clubs and from the broader media ecosystem and our fans here in London and across the globe. But I lit a cigar. I'm a big cigar guy. Red Auerbach. I'm a Celtics fan. Lit a cigar when we won our place back into EuroCup, and that's thanks to all of the work that Martynas' staff has been doing. All of our staff of the front office as well have been doing in terms of getting in there. But it feels, it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just becoming a baby, but it was very emotional when the club was rescued. Was almost in tears when we came back, and I was pretty much in tears when I got the call that we were going to be re-entering EuroCup. So it really feels unbelievable and amazing, and I just feel so fortunate to have as a part of my team with me, the group of people that work with the Lions every single day. It takes an enormous amount of effort to get this started, and we couldn't do it without their support and also the support of our fellow SLB clubs. So we really thank them for being a part of supporting us on this journey.
When you come to putting together the roster this season, you've brought back some of the guys who played in EuroCup before. How important was that to bring back players that fans in London aren't familiar with?
Very important. It's very important to bring the players who has the spirit of London Lions, who achieved some good results a few years ago, who are British, who are locals. Also, that's very important to develop basketball. And I would say that, to continue each year the season with the players who already achieve, who has, again, in the heart, the London Lions spirit is very important.
And for you personally, I know you mentioned it already, but getting the likes of Zalgiris coming to London to play against the Lions, what does that mean to you?
It's something special, to play against one of the best EuroLeague team, to play against one of the famous EuroLeague team, and to compete with them and to try to win something special.
We've obviously brought back a few of the players, also a lot of new faces. Obviously, we had fan favourites like Matt Morgan, Sam Decker before. From what you've seen already as pre-season, who are the players that the London Lions fans will get really excited about?
I would not want to mention some. You will see in a couple hours, some names, they have to prove, on the court. But, I would ask you to be patient. And, you will do not need my advice to see who is potential, and who can play in a couple years in EuroLeague. I'm pretty sure that in 1 or 2 seasons, some of our players are going to play in EuroLeague.
You've had players, I remember, obviously going to EuroLeague already. Just finally from me then, any more development on the arena situation?
Yeah, so we're working very, very closely with the mayor's office. They've been incredibly helpful, wanted partners and opportunity partners. We're wrapping up phase 1 of our feasibility study, which has been quite a bit of work. So we're narrowing into the spaces that are available and sort of trying to figure out what the right size of the arena is based on our objectives and what's out there. So it's moving along really, really well. We're really excited about it. We're so very fortunate to sort of have the mayor's office backing, and I think it's going to be a really exciting project. It's going to take some time, like these things take time, but we anticipate to get into phase 2 of that feasibility study during the fall. So it's quite a lot of work, a lot of pitching the London Lions. But the good news is actually over the last few years, especially the EuroCup run, folks have actually heard of us and people are excited about who we are and what we've done in the past. And I think people understand that the Lions are representative of the sort of rich and diverse global community that is London. And I think a lot of communities know that not only is there an economic benefit here about having an arena, but there's also an incredible social impact benefit for communities, basketball playing communities that have long been underserved. And I think for all of those communities, they're interested in keeping those folk active, keeping them away from sort of anti-social behavior, helping them to be positive members of society. We all know how important sport is in that space. basketball has a disproportionate impact on those communities. And it also connects to all of the global communities. Like one of the exciting things about the sort of idea where the ownership group came up with the idea about Zalgiris is like, we want the Lithuanian fans. We want the people who come here as the people who live here one day to come away from it saying, you know what, maybe I root for Zalgiris in the, in whatever, or maybe I root for Lakabelis, but now I'm a London Lions fan. And that's our objective here with this. And we want that to be true for every single EuroCup team that we encounter, whether they're folks from Greece and all these other countries. And we also want it to be true for the British basketball community who are starving for the kind of growth that we're seeing with us, but also with Manchester and Sheffield, and there'll be a new club soon. Our arena project is one part of a broader project that's happening across the UK landscape around developing arenas, and we're just going to try to keep pushing through on that. And where things are going well, it's just going to take time, and we're going to push to move it as quickly as possible. And you heard the mayor; he wants it built yesterday, so I'm with it.
How you doing? I'm Lenz. How you doing, sir? I'm Zio from City Hoops and Hooper's Voice. First question to you, Lenz, is this kind of touched on early on the women's team. Just what are the plans going forward for the women's team? I know last year was pretty much ground zero, or even maybe minus one. But how do you see this year, and then what are the plans going forward from this year?
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of really positive developments on the UConn women's team. The first bit is our renewed partnership with New City College, which is going to be the home of the women's program. They've spent £250,000 on a brand new renovated facility. Our goal is to build not just an elite men's academy. One of Martynas' old staff on the men's team is now full-time running our academy in Europe. We'll have some more exciting stuff to talk about the men's academy and Coach Ombre, so we're really excited about that. But we're also building a women's academy. We've brought back some amazing young women like Annika, who we think will contribute greatly, not just to not just to the basketball team on the floor, but more broadly growing girls and women's basketball more broadly. So that partnership with NCC is really important. We're really fortunate to have Riche, who's been incredibly patient and has been an unbelievable leader in terms of understanding what we need to continue to develop. And I'm super excited about Coach Kyla because she's obviously ingrained in the sort of basketball community and understands what it's going to take to build basketball here. We need to build a women's basketball fan base in London, and we need to do that because our ambition is to have both the men and women playing in Europe at the top levels. I think probably the women playing in Europe is probably the function of the economic stability that comes from having an arena. But right now is such an amazing time to sort of build out with that fan base and that audience base. And our community program and our foundation or our kick is going to be an instrumental part of helping to build that women's program. My expectation this year is that no pressure, is that we're a playoff team this season, which I think would be huge for us. And it's the first sort of stepping stone to getting back at the top of European competition on the women's side.
Kyla, it was almost like saying basically she not almost, but she is basically second generation. She played basketball running through her veins, both her brother, her dad, but also from a holistic point of view. This league, or even the history of women's basketball, has very rarely, if ever, seen a black woman be the head coach of a professional basketball team, irrespective of necessarily race. But just how important is that to you, especially as a Haitian American over the UK and London, a global city? Just holistically, from your point of view, how important is that, and how do you feel that could sort of permeate and influence sort of the next generation of head coach?
I think we want to make sure that we, as a club, represent the diversity and the richness of the UK, of London, right? I'm a personal believer that oftentimes communities of color are overlooked and undervalued, and we want to give that opportunity to folks as well. And so as an organization, I think everybody in this organization values making sure that whether it's the front office, the back office, the team reflects what London looks like. And Coach Kyle is a really important piece of that. And we're really excited to have her on board because, one of the things that I'm interested in is getting those communities active and what have you. And that should include young women. And that should, and there's so much untapped talent there. And I think for certain populations and communities, Kyla walking in is going to be an inspirational thing. But also because of who Kyla is, she's going to resonate and be attractive to all the different communities across London. And I think those are the things that were most important to us, is to make sure that whoever we have is that the club in general is as inclusive and as progressive about representing London and its diversity as possible. And I think Kyle is going to be incredible at that.
Thank you very much. Jen, just two questions for you, just kind of around the construct of the roster and sort of the role Ovie Soko will play this year with his experience. So first question, how difficult was putting the roster together, constructing the roster together, taking into consideration the restrictions around the SLB sort of salary cap and budget restrictions? How difficult was that, and how much did that play into the type of basketball that you want to see played this year or going forward, basically in conjunction with yourself and coach? And about Ovie Soko, obviously it's very important with him being here. He is a long tenured now, highly respected both European basketball and British basketball. But how important do you see his role here at London Lions for the younger players on the team as well as the new players?
Let me start to answer from the second question about Ovie. So I can say that he's a captain of the team. So that's it. He's a captain of the team. He's a very authority player, experienced player who has experience in Europe and a good club. And also he's very famous because of his social, outside the court, some jobs. So, but anyway, he's professional. He has big authority in the locker room. He's helping the coach, and that was the target, to keep him in the team. So yeah. For sure, he will help us in the court or out of the court, So he will be like between the coach stuff and between the players. So we are very happy to have you in the team. So, talking about the summertime, about SLB, that's a very good question. I think SLB is unique league in Europe. Nobody has this kind of rules for the foreigners in Europe except the SLB, So it was very difficult to create a competitive team. Competitive, I'm talking about Europe, with this kind of regulation and restriction for the foreigners. And no one team in EuroCup, our competitors, has such restrictions. If the salary cap over 800,000, we can register just 4 foreigners for the local games. So to have 5 foreigners for the EuroCup for the SLB is not good, for the preparation, for the practice time. So that's confusing a little bit. But anyway, this is not excuses. The rules there are what we have. Anyway, we will compete. In Europe, in SLB, and the Cup, and we'll survive. I hope that next season, SLB will make some conclusions and will be much more closer to all the best professional leagues in the.
All right, that's all the time we're going to have for questions today. Thank you, Lenz. Thank you, Martynas, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.